Then you'll look. Okay, so this one might, like my previous one, might also get people to be mildly at me. But it's sort of a response to the people who respond to Shock of God's question. Please provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Short tangent. It's still not a question. I still hate it. Back on track. So people's responses, I've seen a couple, not all that many, so I can't say most. I would like to say most, but I haven't seen them. Is we don't have to provide proof and evidence. The burden of proof is on you to show that God does exist. And it's usually also applied with you can't prove a negative, okay? That's basically saying, it sounds like it's basically saying you can't disprove something. So, where's this go from? So let's do various other scientific examples, say. Okay, the first, geocentrism, or, crap, not geocentrism. Let's go first as flat earther, flat earth stuff. Can you disprove the flat earth theory? Sure you can. Can you prove can you prove the negative of the flat earth theory, that the earth is not flat? Sure. Easy enough. We do it all the time. People who circumnavigate the globe do it. The images from space do it. Unless you don't believe in space, but then you're a little insane. So we prove that the earth isn't flat all the time. We can do it. So we can prove the negative. We can, so, and then we can prove the negative of all the other things that aren't what it is. Or we can also prove that the earth isn't a cube, or a fifth dimensional being from another galaxy. We can prove, or a fifth dimensional being from another galaxy that looks like a piece of paper. We can disprove all of those things by proving one other thing. So you can prove the negative by proving the positive. No, you can prove a negative by disproving a positive. And disproof of a positive is all that science is. Like with the flat earth example, easy enough. Now, I don't know any of the science behind it, but we've also can disprove or prove wrong geocentrism. We've shown that the sun doesn't revolve around the earth, regardless of what the fundamentalists think. We've instead showed that the earth revolves around the sun. It's disproving the positive statement that the sun revolves around the earth. Disproof of that proves not that. And by showing that the other planets in the solar system don't revolve around the earth either, then you can also prove that that the sun doesn't revolve around them either, if you can show that they revolve around the sun. So all of those other, so those two theories that I said, and then we also have obviously creationism. You can prove wrong by proving something else right, or yeah, that's basically it, because I don't know how to rephrase the first one to be better, a better explanation. So where does this get me? His people say you have to prove yours, we don't have to prove ours. That's, both of them are how science works. You can disprove, the atheist could disprove the theist by saying, by proving the, by disproving the theist's position, which actually hasn't been done yet. You can disprove certain gods, obviously, like the ones that people believe to be on Mount Olympus. Those exact gods can be disproven. Go to Mount Olympus, to the top, ooh, no gods here, okay. But then there's also ones that can be logically disproven, like an all-powerful god that can't make a boulder so heavy that he can't lift it. That guy can be logically disproven. But then you go down to other forms. I can't really think of it, but it seems like the God concept, the concept of a God, or capital G God, monotheistic God, hasn't been disproven, and nobody cares. They focus on certain particular gods to disprove, but nobody ever goes after the God concept. Sure, they go after like Allah or Yahweh or Jehovah, various gods like that. It's easy enough to go after. But the concept, though, that has yet to be disproven, actually. And then you'd also have to not get caught in the trap of, well, God is omnipotent and allows free will. No, it's not necessarily true. Most of the things a person would say about God is what they think about God, not necessarily the concept of God. Again, they'd be disproving a particular God. So, am I saying it can't be disproved? No, obviously not. As I don't know how. I just don't know how it would be disproved. Go ahead, try. I don't care. I won't get in your way. Well, I might get in your way, but I'm not going to be annoying about it. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're wrong. You haven't," whatever. But then on the flip side is, the theists haven't proven themselves right either, and they haven't cared about proving themselves right. There's the fundamentalists and extremists. Almost always, all their arguments go back to the Bible is right because God wrote it, and God. How do you know God wrote it? Because it's in the Bible, and the Bible is always right. Okay, for the most part. Okay, then you also have to flip it for the various religions. The Muslims would say the Quran, the Jews would say something else. And those are just the fundamentalism people. There are various logical arguments that don't go back to that. But the fundamentalists and extremists almost always seem to go back to that. Stupid shirt's strangling me. Okay, so that's basically my spiel on the shock of God thing. You can't say that he has to prove it, because you could prove, an atheist could prove their side by disproving his side, which is perfectly possible because that's how all science works. So, kapla!